Welcome to Align, Coach, Appreciate application. The objective of this lesson is to apply the key Align, Coach, Appreciate concepts to your particular organization. Specifically, you will assess the alignment between your workforce evaluation and incentives and your strategy. And then you'll assess the alignment between the workforce evaluation incentives with your organizational values. And finally, you'll use the individual coaching framework to evaluate yourself and then a direct report. So we start with the alignment with strategy. And the application here, we start with identifying the strategic goals. And you may have, many goals, or you may only have a handful, like maybe 5 goals. And you'll identify the goals, number them, and so that you know which number corresponds with which goals. Then identify the evaluations and incentives in your organization geared towards workforce and workforce performance. So this could include a variety of things, including annual performance reviews, awards, promotions, that sort of thing. And then assess the alignment of each of these evaluation and incentives with the strategic goals. Number 1, then goal number 2. So individually, how does each individual goal stack up? So for example, the annual employee evaluation criteria, you might assess it with goal number 1 as being a good fit. In other words, there's alignment between what the annual employee evaluation criteria and what goal number 1 is doing. So it supports it. However, when you look at goal number 2, you may find that the annual employee evaluation criteria is a loose fit or a low alignment with the goal. And while it might be helpful and not harmful, it really doesn't directly support the goal. And then when you look at goal number 3, you may find that the employee evaluation criteria is the opposite. It's really not asking about goal number 3 at all. And if we improve the employee based upon the evaluation criteria, it's not going to help goal number 3. And so there's no alignment or fit between those things. And go that with goal number 4, maybe there is a good fit, and with goal number 5, maybe it's low. And you're going to want to do this for each different evaluation or incentive. So maybe there's some annual bonus criteria, and you look at the bonuses that you give and what the criteria are used to assess and determine the bonus and whether they get one, and then compare that to the goals. And the promotion criteria, and how does that compare with our goals? Same way with award, you fill in the blank. You might have multiple awards, and so you'd want to list every award in your organization that you give out and assess it based upon, does it support the strategy from a goal by goal perspective. And then to do this for yourself, you're going to download the blank evaluation incentive worksheet as usual from this website and identify and assess the alignment between the strategic goals and the evaluations incentives in your organization. And once you've done that, take that and shop that around with your colleagues, boss, subordinate, and get their feedback and see what they think the alignment is with those, and if you've missed anything. Use that to revise and improve your version. And then you're ready to move on and do a very similar exercise with the values and culture of the organization. So the question here is, do those same incentives and evaluation criteria align with and support the stated values of the organization? And so the first step is to identify your values. And there were 5 values that showed up in the research for Recreate. And we talk about these in a later module on the culture. And they include employee focus, trust, teamwork, excellence, and customer focus. Yours may be different. And so what you're going to want to do is create your own and put your own values into a matrix like this or a worksheet like this. And then you can start by identifying the evaluation incentives. So you can take that list that you just did for the previous worksheet and move that over to here, copy and paste and move it over here, and do the same thing with the same evaluations and incentives. Only this time, you'll assess each one with each value all along the way. So depending on how many values you have. So for example, the annual employee evaluation criteria, it might be a direct hit and support the employees and developing employees. However, it may be a loose fit with trust and integrity and may not address teamwork at all, or even maybe it emphasizes individual performance over team and performance. And so you could have employee evaluation criteria or award criteria or bonuses that aren't helping you with teamwork, and in fact, potentially discouraging teamwork. Excellence might be a good fit. Customer might be a good fit. And so you do the same thing. So the bonus criteria, you may find out that you're bonusing based upon some customer metric only. And in this case, you may not have any connection with teamwork or excellence or trust or employees. And consequently, in order to get that bonus, they just have to do the things for the customer. And in this case, they may be making choices and decisions that are potentially unethical and could be detracting from the overall performance of the team and the overall performance of the larger organization. Promotion criteria. Sometimes we promote on specific criteria, and if we look at that and we compare that with the values, sometimes we find that we're not really touching on the different values. And the problem with this is we end up promoting people who don't embody the values and don't role model the values of the organization. And when we say we value employees, trust, and teamwork, but then the people that we're promoting and bonusing don't exhibit those behaviors, most employees look at that and say they realize what's really important, which is the customer and sometimes excellence in this case. But trust, teamwork, employees is all just words. We're not really putting our money behind it. Maybe the award criteria, maybe you have awards that go across the board. So to evaluate your own set of incentives and evaluations with the values of the organization, download the worksheet as always and fill it out using that same list you did before. And then share that with colleagues, boss, subordinates, and get their input. See if they agree with your assessment, and then use that to improve on your assessment. So those two give you a good idea of whether you've got alignment with the incentives and how you're developing and motivating employees with the bigger picture strategy and culture and values of the organization. The last exercise in this application lesson is a coaching framework. And so we offer up this individual coaching framework as a format that you could use to help you get the alignment with the different areas that you're looking for, strategy and culture, and compare that with the activities the individual is doing, the assessment of those activities and the actions. So for this, you would start with the activities. You identify the roles, responsibilities, duties, and tasks of the individual responsible during the year or month or day or whatever the period is you're doing this. And then identify the alignment with and how those activities, roles, and responsibilities support the strategy and the values. And once you've done that, you're ready to assess how well the individual did on each responsibility and task and incorporate how that helps align with the strategy and values. And then make a decision on what are the next steps. Are there rewards, bonuses, developmental activities, etc., that need to take place? So to do your own, download this individual worksheet. And first of all, I would use yourself as the individual being coached and just try this out, thinking about yourself, and do your own self-evaluation, if you will. And once you've done that, maybe you'll be ready to go out and do it and use it test drive it with some subordinates that you have in your organization. Or maybe you want to try it out on peers first and maybe test drive it and see how it works. Present what you find about your individual coaching to framework and yourself to colleagues, bosses, and subordinates. Get their feedback. Let's find out if they see you the same way as you see you. It's pretty rare that those two things, there's perfect alignment. But if you already have had conversations around this and you have pretty good agreement, then maybe there'll be good alignment. And then incorporate that feedback into a revised version. And then you've got your own framework example to start with, and then take it out and use it with others. In the next module, we'll examine and assess how the overall organization and you're doing on the Align, Coach, and Appreciate concepts and applying them. We'll see you there.